Hello out there. We're on the air. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Fat Zap Friday. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Bitcoin Journey. What's up? What's up, everybody? This one's titled Bitcoin Will Hold the Cards. The Bitcoin Journey focuses on two things: actionable and logical discussion for two people, Bitcoiners and future Bitcoiners. So people who own Bitcoin now and people who will own Bitcoin in the future. Oh, that's hot. That is hot. Oh, what a lively chat this morning. Wow. Wake me up. So it is Friday. It is the Friday after the first golf men's league of the year. So if you've been watching the show for a while, for the next 4 months, you can expect me to show up here on Friday mornings pretty hungover. No, just kidding. Not hungover, but tired. I didn't get back here till about after 11 o'clock last night. And by the time you settle down and get your life together, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. So cheers, everybody, from the Central University of Northern Toronto. But you may notice I do have my orange hoodie on today. And it is because I'm feeling more bullish than usual today. So we're going to talk about it. But let's start with the chat. What's going on here today? Killer76 with the first edged Ginger out by, it looks like, a couple seconds here. Killer, good morning, living the future. Let's go. Ginger right behind him. Good morning. Lotpad. Good morning, proof of workers. Oh, look at that. Zap stream's butt for Fat Zap Friday. I didn't even tell Noster that we're live yet, and there's people in there. Love to see that. Usually it's just Letha in there until I share it with Noster. Well, Letha's the only one who talks in there anyways. But Josh is over there as well. Looks like we got some fat zaps to start the day. Okay, let me share this with Noster. We are tired. No, we are live. Oh, big stretch from Arn. Wants to get in on the action a little bit, it looks like. Sorry, Arn. Okay, so we're shared. We got you guys wouldn't believe it, but I'm wearing orange hoodie and orange shorts. So if you've seen bullish jaw before, you've never seen double bullish jaw until today. Cleaner Machine, good morning. Great to see you. Tom says, I'm saving for a BitAxe Ultra. After watching Mechanics video, I am also considering selling some Bitcoin to expedite the process. Has anyone else watched his video about Bitcoin Core? Yeah, I got through the majority of it last night on the way home from golf, actually. And it sounds like we're going to be talking about that on Maple Bitcoin today. So for the dummies like me, we don't really know what's going on ever. I think we're going to do our best job anyways, to break it down for people who aren't as technical in the Bitcoin realm. Oh yeah, I got to catch up on some zaps here. Sorry, YouTube. Zap stream is the priority. Okay, Josh. Morning, y'all. Noster equals freedom. Yeah, that's what I agree with that. It is freedom. And I saw one of my good buddies, Jerry Loves Freedom, actually got his stream taken down the other day because he was streaming an interview from 20 minutes, or whatever it's called, 60 minutes. It should be 0 minutes, but 60 minutes. So yes. And speaking of Noster, I also shared this morning. I think this is relevant. This is what I've noticed anyways. And some people might have different experience in this than I have, but this is kind of what I think about it. So I put, if you want to find out what everybody else already knows, use X. If you want to find out things before everyone else, use Nostr. That's kind of how I see it. I feel like Twitter's just somebody says something and it's just regurgitated in 1,000 different ways. Whereas with Nostr, you can actually, the smartest, most intelligent, freedom-loving people are on Nostr. That's where you want to be. If you're not on Nostr yet, I don't know what to tell you, especially if you've been watching the show for a long time. Okay, what else we got here? We got another frogs over there. Good morning. Oh, what a Zap stream's buzzing today. We got 40 people on there right now. Letha, 10,000 sad zap for Fat Zap Friday. Thank you, Letha. Plunger, good morning. Daniel zapped a fat zap of 888 sats. Josh with the legendary zap of 8,888 sats. Killer 76 with a fat zap himself, 888 sats. Plunger with a row of ducks. There's more zaps than comments in the zap stream right now. Plunger with a row of ducks, 2,222 sats. And then we got Nostr Gang with 21 sats, and Dan with a loaf of bread and a 100 sat zap. Is that a loaf of bread, Dan? I don't know. Anyways, there's more people in Zap stream right now than YouTube. I fucking love that. I don't care what happens after today's show. That's what it's all about. Truly. And I don't mean to offend people on YouTube, but that's where we want to be. And if you're watching on YouTube right now and you haven't tried Zapstream yet, you can very easily go to sats.gg. You don't need an app. You don't need anything. Just go to sats.gg and you'll be able to find the stream on there. Try it out. Join the majority over there. Honestly, it hasn't been close for the last, 6 months. It's been like 100 people in here, 10 people in there. Now it's 40, 30. Anyways, let's see how the show progresses here. Tom, the one thing I was going to say about this is I wouldn't sell your Bitcoin to buy a BitAxe. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just think that those type of things, whether it's a BitAxe, a Start9, hardware device, those should all be, you shouldn't spend your Bitcoin, or you shouldn't have to sell your Bitcoin. Sorry, you can spend Bitcoin. Like if you want to pay for a cold card with Bitcoin and then replenish it. But my opinion is that you shouldn't be having to sell Bitcoin to buy things like this. Those kind of things come after, in my opinion. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Obviously, I'm just telling you my opinion on it. I think that holding Bitcoin itself, like having UTXOs in your self-custody, is more important than that at this stage of the game and forever. That's what you want. That's what you want. And there might be people that disagree with me there, but whatever. And sorry, I want to follow up with that with one more thing, because Tom, I really appreciate the motive there and why you'd be doing it. But just know that like you doing that isn't going to have any sort of impact really on the Bitcoin network itself. But you selling those sats for that is going to have an impact on your family, because those Bitcoin that you're going to sell to buy that BitAxe, that's not something you ever want to let go of. Truly, that's what you want. And what, I'm going to talk a little bit about today in terms of, MicroStrategy, Bitcoin bonds, everything. It's all just a distraction. 21 Capital, it's all just a distraction. The only thing that people should be focused on is getting sats in cold storage. That's it. Nothing else matters. Everything else is just a distraction. And I'm not saying that this kind of stuff doesn't matter. I think that it does matter. But for Tom, for your family, getting sats in cold storage is more important than that, in my opinion. Sorry, I don't mean to sound like, I'm telling you what to do, but that's just my take on it. So you can take that however you want to. Good morning. Okay. Josh says, I log into YouTube to comment and raise the metrics, then I'm off. Like liberal lawn signs in Ontario. Yes. Dan says base layer importance is stacking sats in self-custody above all. Agree. You can't beat that. Nothing that you will do is going to beat sats in cold storage. It's just not. And in the okay, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for later. But kind of my take on it, just in case there's people here who aren't going to be here later. I don't even know what I was going to say. Oh, the strategy earnings call last night. Everybody's talking about how strategy's outperforming Bitcoin. It's not going to be like that forever. That's a short-term thing. It really is. Oh no, I forgot my notepad on the table today. I had some good notes in there. Shit. Oh, well, BTC is truth. Good morning. Nick says it's a beautiful day to be better than you were yesterday. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is, Nick. Buck 52, good morning. Hi, Mom. Buck 52's mom is watching the show today, maybe. Your son says hi. Ian, good morning, lovely people. Happy Fat Zap Friday. Sunny day in Spain, but don't panic. I'm keeping hydrated with beers, it looks like. Love that. I did want to give a shout out here. Oh, we got a couple Fat Zaps on this one too, on Arnie's. Ooh. Okay, so I want to give a shout out yesterday because Ian missed the show. He was listening to it late because he's on vacation right now. But he sent in a Fat Zap of 5,888 sats and said, sorry, late to the show, but listening back, Ian. So thank you, Ian. And then we had another one here from Sketchy Trader. I don't know if I've seen Sketchy Trader in the chat or not, but anyways, they sent in a Live Free Zap of 1,111 sats. So thank you for that. Those were two after hours zaps. Okay, let me get my shit together here just a little bit. Had a couple different things I wanted to start the show with today. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's start with this one. I love this. So if I go like this, okay. Let's start with this clip today. It's only a minute long, but I think it's incredibly important to watch, especially kind of what we're talking on right now. Okay, and then somebody else sent 5,191 sats after hours yesterday. So thank you for that. I don't know who it was. It was an anonymous zap. But, and Ian with a fat zap today. Wow. We're going to call this one the mighty duck, the mighty row of ducks. How about that? Because we know our row of ducks is 2,222. But just like the NHL team, the Mighty Ducks, we're going to call this one the mighty row of ducks. So this is 22,222 sats. Happy Fat Zap Friday, my friend. Two orange hearts from Ian. So we got two shout outs there for Ian while his name was on the screen. That's what we want. Thank you, Ian. Wow. That's the Fat Zap of the day so far. So thank you for yesterday's and thank you very much for today's, Ian. Very, very Ian's been so beyond supportive, consistently supportive for the show. There's a lot of people that have, but I want to highlight Ian here because that's incredible. It's people like Ian who keep this show functioning here. That's for sure. Okay, let's watch this video here. Hey, speaking of people who keep the show functioning here, look at that, BitBilly. Good. I don't have the voice for it this morning. I wasn't like singing or anything last night. I just don't have a whole lot of sleep. But we're here. That's the main thing. It would be very easy to take Fridays off. And that's kind of what I thought of, actually. I was like, you know what? I want to enjoy the golf league. I want to stay out maybe a little bit later. I'll just skip the Friday shows. I'll do the Maple Bitcoin show Friday afternoon, and we'll be good to go. But I'm not doing that. I'm not leaving. Fridays, Fat Zap Fridays, we're not leaving that. Anyways, good morning, BitBilly. Oh, look at this. We got some action over here. BitBilly's on YouTube and Noster. BitBilly says, yo, I'm still trying to learn Zapstream. Thanks, Jor, for pushing me out of my comfort zone. Cheers, BitBilly. You're doing pretty damn good, I would say. Better than most. Better than most. What's that from? Jim Nantz? Tiger Woods? I don't know. Okay, so I want to catch up on the Zapstream here quickly, and then we're going to move to this video. Josh says, I also like layer 2 for spending and sending as well. Spread the best asset to other Bitcoiners. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the Bitcoin Journey's trademark, I think. Stack on chain, spend on Lightning. So I think if you followed that, honestly, like, you're going to do pretty well for yourself. So stack on chain, spend on Lightning. That's how you're going to optimize and maximize everything within Bitcoin. And so with that in mind, it's like every time you send Bitcoin to your on-chain, your cold storage, it's there. And that you're not spending that. That's going to stay there forever. That's for your family. And speaking of family, I want to, that's what this video is about here. So let's watch this. Oh, I got another little fun thing we're going to do here right away. I just remembered that. But the post here is called Build a Strong Family. So let's watch this. It's a minute long. I think it's incredibly important, especially for people who are in Bitcoin right now. So let's check this out. I don't know who this is. I don't know where it's from, but it's relevant, and I couldn't agree more with it.
Well, the biggest difference between your family and a wealthy family is something that's been forgotten now for about 3 generations. And that is that the wealthy families band and bind themselves together to build wealth. But now we've been programmed by media, and in fact, the same wealthy people that don't want competition, that we should strike out on our own, and we should do it together, then leave family, let them fend for themselves. You're an independent, you're on your own, you're powerful that way. No, you're weakened that way. How does that make any sense that you're powerful by yourself? Only together, in partnership, in community, in family. Does that make any sense that we can band together and win in this very, very difficult game called commercial life? And is it any wonder that all the mega rich came from family money? Some of these families have been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years, generations of wealth that are handed down. It kind of doesn't matter whether it's the corporate structure method or the trust method or the waterfall method. It's that they've all banded together. And some of you are like, I hate my family. Well, that's your personal problem that you should probably solve that or get yourself a new family, because it's so impossible for the average person to get ahead by themselves. But with a family together, it doesn't have to be your family, but in a family environment, that's when you multiply your chances of massive success for not just you, but for them and your entire community.
Isn't that so true? I mean, there's a lot of things that, the mainstream, the centralized entities of the world, that they've been pushing on people, a lot of narratives. But I mean, that's one big one. And it seems like they've been trying to destroy family, period, with telling people that men can be pregnant, and that, they're putting on commercials now all these different man, woman, blah, blah, blah. That's what they're doing. They're trying to destroy the family dynamic, because families are all that matters in life. And I think that if you can start building into that direction for your family, you're going to be 10,000 miles ahead of everybody else who's trying to do it on their own. And there's a lot to be said about going through this whole process together. And the nice thing about where we are right now is we're kind of at the forefront of this whole thing, which means that we get to set the tone with it. We get to spread this message and focus on this and secure the Bitcoin that we have, and teach our family to teach their family and their family that this Bitcoin sits here and it never stays. And it's not something that you could just tell somebody. It's something that you have to absolutely instill into kids at a very young age. I believe that. I don't have kids myself yet, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's going to be instilled from them from a very young age that this is the family's Bitcoin. You add value to the world. If you need it, it's going to be there. But this is going to stay here forever. And you have to teach them how to protect it. You have to have help in place to secure it, to make sure that it gets passed on properly. This stuff is so incredibly important. And I feel like the majority of Bitcoiners are completely out to lunch with this. Completely out to lunch with this because they see their Bitcoin in their wallet and they're still looking at that illusionary fiat balance that they're telling you, which is a complete fucking lie. The fiat price of Bitcoin right now could not be any less relevant than it is, but that's what people focus on. And they say, well, I only got 10,000 bucks in Bitcoin right now, so I'm not going to invest in a planner to help me with this. I'm not going to invest in somebody to help me secure this Bitcoin. I'm just going to, if it's 10,000 bucks, whatever. If I lose it, I lose it. And that is the worst possible approach to this because people do not realize how scarce this asset is and how valuable it's going to be in the future. So this is something that you watching the show today, you're the Bitcoiner in your family. You are the captain of this ship. And you have to be the one that takes on the responsibility to make sure that this is instilled in your family, that this is the asset. We're going to protect it at all costs. You have to teach them what to talk about with people, what not to talk about with people. This stuff is so incredibly important. And it's absolutely right. If you look at the dynasties of the world, this is all about building your own dynasty using Bitcoin. And if you look at the dynasties of the world, that's what they've done. And the majority of people who hold the majority of wealth on this planet, we got some action back here. You don't know their names, right? Like we see the Forbes top 100 list of richest people in the world, and that's not who it is. That's not who it is at all. That's a fraction of the real wealth in the world. The dynasties don't go on TV and tell people how much wealth they have. You don't know their names because they've done it properly, and there's not a whole lot of people who do that anymore. And that's what he said. It's been lost for 3 generations now. But you are at the forefront of this. You are the captain of this ship, and you are the one who has to take that responsibility on for your family. You have to. And I just don't want you to underestimate how powerful this is and how valuable it's going to be in the future. And the best time to start worrying about that is today. Okay, let me catch up on, there's a lot of comments here to catch up on. Wow. Okay, so Dan says MicroStrategy is a shitcoin. Sailor knows what he's doing, getting others to buy his Bitcoin for him. Yeah, I do not disagree with that. Truly, I don't. I don't disagree with that. I wouldn't say it's a shitcoin. I think it's a distraction. I think that's what it is. I think if you're holding some strategy shares, you're going to do pretty well. You really are. It's just not, it's not the end goal. And maybe it is. Maybe you keep like, here's kind of my plan. I'll share my plan with you and you can take this however you want to. But I bought some strategy a couple years ago, some shares in strategy, and I absolutely believe in what they're doing. I think that they have the perfect team to be doing what they're doing. I think they've executed everything almost to perfection, truly. There's a couple things that I don't like about it, including the proof of reserves, but I do think that that's coming. So I kind of bought some, and then they did a stock split, and then those stocks that were split went up in value as well. So what my plan has been is I want to, because I'm holding those in like a tax sheltered account. If something comes up, instead of having to sell my Bitcoin, like something unexpectedly comes up in my life, I don't want to have to sell my Bitcoin. And so strategy in that sense is kind of my tax-free if I need to. It's very easy to access, very easy to pull cash out of. That's what I plan to do with strategy. And in the future, I'll probably keep like, I don't know, 10 shares. Because those 10 shares are going to turn into 100 shares and then 1,000 shares. And as it becomes more valuable, it's just going to go up and up and up. Like, I don't think anybody would argue with me on that. But that's not the asset. That's not the generational wealth. Maybe like some shares, but you want to be holding Bitcoin in cold storage. That's what you want. That's the end goal. And you want to protect that Bitcoin with everything that you have because you're going to need to. People don't realize that yet, but you're going to need to protect that with your life. And the best time to be thinking about that stuff and preparing for that is today. because it's not going to get easier. It's going to get more expensive. It's going to be harder and harder to find people who can actually help you with it. And you have to take some action. You have to take some action. Josh, sorry, I missed you here. Jordan Arna got to run this morning, but I'll watch the rerun on Nostr later. Be well, and don't forget you're respected and appreciated by this community. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for all the support. Josh actually gave me, where is it? Yeah, right here. The Make America Great Again hat. Craig had that there. I don't know. That's American Badass. I want to give a shout out to Hazel Rocket too from Nostr. He sent me some merch, some Kid Rock merch. So that's I got my American Badass there and my Make America Great Again hat. That's an official one too, and that was from our guy Josh. So thank you, Josh, for the support and for the kind words. Daniel says, "What time is Maple today?" Good question. Good question. What time is it today? 2 p.m. Eastern time. 1 o'clock my time. 12 o'clock Mountain time. 11 o'clock Pacific time, I think. Speaking of Maple Bitcoin, I'll throw the link there in the chat. If you're not yet, I don't know what you're doing. Maple Bitcoin, in my opinion, is the best YouTube channel on YouTube. There it is right there. Maple Bitcoin, 3 guys from Canada, united by Bitcoin. We are the contributors to the Bitcoin network, helping spread adoption across the globe. So we're from Canada, united by Bitcoin, and spreading adoption, helping to spread adoption across the globe. So I think we've done like 20 videos. Oh, 60 videos. Wow. 60 videos. And I think we spent about 2 minutes talking about Canada. So it is for the world, but we're all just from Canada. So I shared that in the chat. Make sure if you haven't yet, you go head over there, put on the notifications so you don't miss our videos, you don't miss our lives. And we're doing a live today. The live that we did last week was crazy. It was over 2 hours long. We're not going to do many like that. We're going to try to keep them under 2 hours. But like the amount of people who watched that live last week blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. And it was a really good episode too, or live. Letha says, Catherine Austin Fitz was interviewed by Tucker Carlson and was saying to do this with your family. Yep. Focus on that. Focus on that. I'm going to come back to this a little. I can't believe we're already half an hour into this. I'm going to come back to that in a little bit, and we'll probably tie that into it. But yeah, absolutely right. And I want you to take this stuff very seriously. And so you might be thinking like, okay, Jor, it sounds great in theory, but like, what are you talking about? How can I do this with my family? How can I be the one who starts this dynasty using Bitcoin? And honestly, the most important thing you can do right now is, number one, take a very hard look at your balance sheet. Look at all the assets that you're holding. I want you can do this today. This is a very good exercise to do for every single person watching this live later and the replay tonight. Just take a piece of paper or use a spreadsheet. I showed everybody how to use Google Docs the other day. For some reason, most people don't know that exists, but it's incredibly easy to use, and you can store all your info. I wouldn't put it on Google Docs actually, because then Google will find out, how much you have. So assume that everything you put onto Google Docs will be seen and kept by Google. So get a notepad and write down all of your assets. Put a line down the sheet, and on the left side, put all of your assets. So that's going to be the value of your house. That's going to be the value of your car. That's going to be your Bitcoin that you hold in dollar terms, because it's all going to be on your balance sheet. It's all going to be denominated in dollars. You could do it in Bitcoin too for fun and just see how that changes over time. But start with dollars. And so put the fiat value of your Bitcoin on the left side in your assets. If you got silver, if you got gold, put it in there. If you got a piece of land somewhere, if you got a cabin, if you got, I don't know, anything of value. You know, I would even put a laptop on there, like my MacBook. I would put that on there, $2,000. That's an asset for me. So that's the left side. And then on the right side, you take all of your liabilities. So the best thing to do is like right across from your house, you put your mortgage. How much do you owe on the house? And if you have a car loan right beside your car, you put how much you owe on your car. And if you have a credit card, if you have a line of credit, that all goes on the right side. That's all your liabilities. If you have I wouldn't put like an outstanding cell phone bill on there, but like your longer term liabilities on there, that's what would go on there. Student loans, anything that you owe to anybody, that goes on the right side. And I want you to just, first of all, observe like how much wealth you actually have, because I'm guilty of this myself. I get very caught up in like the fiat illusion. And I'm like, oh man, I got this bill coming up. I owe this much on my credit card. I owe this to the line of credit, blah, blah, blah. But it's irrelevant. Number one, it's a completely illusionary system. Number two, if you actually factored in your Bitcoin holdings on that left side, you'd be amazed of how much wealth, how much you're in the positive here. Because people don't usually tie that. They usually keep them separate. They keep their Bitcoin over here. They know that they have it, but they also keep their fiat over here. And they think that they're like, you know, in a lot of trouble because of it. I do anyways. But when you combine them and you combine your Bitcoin with your fiat, all your assets and your liabilities, I think you're going to be surprised of how much wealth you actually have. And so that's kind of the starting point for people, is just like understand how much you have. And second part of that is anything that doesn't really align with you in terms of your assets, like go through your assets and look at what doesn't really align with you. What could you offload to buy Bitcoin? Because that's a much easier path than going to work every day and you know, shaving off whatever you have left and putting that into Bitcoin. Just take any assets that aren't really doing anything and convert that into Bitcoin. That's number one. Accumulate as much as you can while we still can while we can still trade fake dollars for real money. So start there. You know, swap anything that you can into Bitcoin. And then number two, so accumulate and then secure. So figure out how to best secure that Bitcoin. Don't look at the fiat price of it. If you have more than 1 million sats, you should be doing everything that you possibly can to secure that Bitcoin properly. Everything you can. Do you need a new hardware device to get your sats offline? Do you need a multi-sig to take the risk off you, to eliminate the single point of failure there? Do you need a multi-jurisdictional where maybe you keep one device in Canada, maybe you keep one in the US, maybe one in Sweden? Do you need to encrypt your backups? And it all kind of depends on how much Bitcoin you have right now, not how much it's worth, but how many sats you have today. That's kind of where, and how much knowledge you have, because you can't really fast track that. So you don't want to go from like somebody who has Bitcoin on your ShakePay account and move into super backed. You want to go from ShakePay to a cold card with a passphrase, to a cold card, a passport, and a Jade in a multi-sig, and then you want to go to super backed. None of those steps should be skipped. So understand that this is going to be a very long-term thing, but you have to start taking action today. That's kind of the key there. And then the last part there, so you accumulate, you secure it, and then you figure out how that's going to stay in your family. If something were to happen to you unexpectedly today, would your family be able to retain that generational wealth? Would they? Honestly, like take a good hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, if I died this afternoon, would my family be able to restore and have access to the Bitcoin, all the work that I put in, all the value that I've added to the world, all the time I've taken to learn about Bitcoin and study Bitcoin, all the time I've taken to buy and store the Bitcoin, would all that be for nothing, or would I actually be able to pass that on to my family? And I really believe that 99% of Bitcoiners do not have an answer to that right now. And that's a problem. Because the people who are taking this stuff seriously, like the BlackRocks, the Sailors, the Maulers, the governments, their Bitcoin's going to be safe. Their Bitcoin's going to be there in 10 years. I have a feeling that a lot of individuals are not going to have access to their Bitcoin in 10 years from now. And that's very sad. And that's very scary for Bitcoin and for humanity. But aside from that, and more importantly, is it's for your family. That's what you need to be focused on here. So take some action. Do not panic, right? Do not panic. Understand that this is a very long process, but you have to start taking action now. So depending on where you are, if you are interested in like anything, if you need help with it, you can shoot me an email if you need help setting up a cold card, if you need help setting up a multi-sig for your Bitcoin, if you need help with super backed and encrypting your recovery phrases and designing an inheritance plan that fits into that, shoot me an email and I can help you with wherever you are. Maybe not me, but somebody on the team can help you with it. I just can't. I can't overstate how important this is. Oh, we got a couple of fatties here. Look at this. Dan says, so valuable to hear, a message that should be shared more and more. Family is a level of wealth. It's so important. 100%. Daniel says, look up the 13 families sometime. Yeah, there's 13 families, and then there's 130 families, and then there's 1,300 families that all have been building dynasties in different parts of the world. And we now have the ability to do that with Bitcoin. We missed it with real estate. We missed it with gold. We missed it with tech. But we have the ability now to do that with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's going to be bigger than all of those combined. So just don't take this stuff for granted. Do not sleep on this. Take action. You are the captain of the ship for your family. Daniel says, I think Catherine Fitz has some good points, but the fact that she's a no-coiner soured me on her Letha. Yeah. I mean, that's her problem though. She makes good points, I think. And I agree with Daniel there. It doesn't matter if she has Bitcoin. She doesn't get it. She hasn't put in the time yet. That's her problem. You have. If you're watching the show today, you put in the time, and you're putting the time right now. So take it seriously. Adriel, okay, let's get to some YouTube chats. But before we do that, there's a couple fat zaps that rolled in here that are definitely worth noting. So Paulo over on the Zap stream, zapped 10,000 sats. 10,000 sats. Thanks for bringing together the Living in the Future family. If you're watching the show and you're kind of sleeping on living in the future, you're going to also regret that. I'm not going to include that in my checklist for generational wealth, but you know, another part of that is having support and having somebody and having people in your circle and your network that you can actually trust. I think that is a very scarce thing these days. So having that Living in the Future community, having people that you can trust and talk to about different things, that's a key ingredient too, honestly. And that's criminally underpriced for $5 a month. You can join that community, and it is growing. We have like 130 people in the chat now, I think. And truly, truly incredible. And we get some big things planned too. Some big things planned. We're going to be taking a little Living in the Future trip to a very, very nice place in the next couple of years. So if you want in on that, everybody joins Living in the Future at the day they deserve. I'm sure there's people listening to this right now who have been humming and hawing over it for a long time. So, you know, Bitcoin doesn't have a middleman. And so when you don't have a middleman, you need to build your own trust, essentially. And that's what this stuff's for. So, damn, I wish I had my notepad because I was going to talk about something on that too. But anyways, I just threw that in the chat if you want to join the community. So that $5 a month, it gets you access to the Patreon, all the videos. We do our proof of work course every Wednesday morning. And you also get access to the Signal chat, which in my opinion is the best signal in Bitcoin. That's Living in the Future. We're already living in a world where one sat equals $1, and we're kind of preparing ourselves for that and building connections, building things. That's what Bitcoin Citadel was stemmed from, was the Living in the Future community. And it's just like the game hasn't even started yet, but you want to be there because you want to put in the time and the trust to be, you know, a valid contributor in that network. So join. Grid's still broken. I don't know. I'm 45 minutes behind here on the YouTube chat. Sorry, everybody. But we got to give it to the Zap streams. The Zap stream showed up today. There's still 32 people in there today. And they've been zapping and they've been chatting. So here's another one. 8,000, a legendary zap of 8,888 sats from Anonymous. I might see it in a comment here if somebody claims it, but thank you. 8,888 sats, a legendary zap. Okay, I'm going to get through the Nostr chats here, and then we're going to be checking out some YouTube ones. Nostr gang, good morning. Hashtag 40HPW. What's that mean? What's 40HPW? Can somebody on Nostr tell me? Fat Zaps today, yes. Look at this. These comments are from before I even showed up on the show today. That's okay. I'm trying to structure my show a little bit differently now because, you know, I've been coming in, I've been getting the comments under control, addressing all of the comments, and then talking about what I want to talk about. But by that time, people have kind of lost interest. So I'm going to start doing now kind of what I want to talk about first, and then get to the comments after. I think that's better personally. So keep that in mind in the future. If I don't get to your comment for a while, stick around and I'll address them kind of at the end. I think that makes more sense because, you know, we got to have some sort of structure around here. I know we like flying by the seat of our pants, but like, come on, Jor. Okay. On that note, there's one other thing that I wanted to do here today. This is a fun one. So I'm going to give away a little bit of Bitcoin today. We're going to do 2 giveaways right now, actually. The first one, we'll do our normal Bitcoin well. So somebody yesterday won 700 sats from the Bitcoin well. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. So we're going to give away some Bitcoin twice today. Some from Bitcoin well and some from Arnie. We'll say that. Some from Arnie. He's going to contribute to say thank you to everybody for all the support for his wallet and for the Rescue Dog Fund. Speaking of that, our good buddy Joe here, I don't know if he's in the chat yet. I haven't got to all the comments, but Joe from the Bitcoin Bros, he actually, I hope I'm not giving anything away here, but he's going to be releasing a book about Bitcoin. And the idea there is that the book's basically from Satoshi's point of view. It's like if Satoshi was, you know, writing a book about what he has created here or discovered here, that's what the book is. And I got through a couple chapters the other night. Joe asked me to kind of read it through it. And it is awesome. It is an awesome book. And so Joe is actually going to be taking 25% of the proceeds and putting that into the Rescue Dog Fund. So how cool is that? I don't know what the book's going to turn into. It's going to be available on Kindle, I think, and maybe hopefully a physical copy because I would love that. But big shout out to Joe. It's so well written. I couldn't believe it. Like I was just like mesmerized by it. I just wanted to keep reading. Hey, buddy. What's up? His ears. Oh, man. Okay, what was I doing here? Sorry, a little distracted today, but it's Friday. We're allowed to be distracted, aren't we? Okay, so there's the Bitcoin well. Looks like a couple people have signed up in the last couple of days, which is good. So we're going to give away some Bitcoin in honor of Bitcoin well today. The best Bitcoin platform, in my opinion, anywhere. I would put River up there. Unfortunately, River's not available here in Canada. River would be up there. I would put Bitcoin well up there, and I would put Bull Bitcoin as well. Actually, Bull Bitcoin's been doing some really good things here in Canada, and in Costa Rica, and I think France as well. But we shouldn't leave out Bull Bitcoin. They're also awesome. I just feel like Bitcoin well, if I was using one, and I do, I like Bitcoin well's platform better. And they have free swaps too, which is Nobody else has that. So if you want to get if you're in Canada, especially, if you're in the US too, it's a great option. The nice thing about Bitcoin Well is they actually don't hold any Bitcoin. So you send them dollars and they send you Bitcoin. They don't hold your dollars or your Bitcoin. They basically just convert it as soon as they receive the money. They convert it to Bitcoin and they send it to your address. So they don't hold your Bitcoin at all. That's why I have zero issues promoting them here on the show, because there's no risk. You can't get rugged by Bitcoin Well. So if you're an intermediate to an advanced Bitcoiner, definitely check out Bitcoin Well, because that's the kind of stuff you want to be looking out for. Companies who are doing the right thing. And in my opinion, that is the right thing. It's good to have strikes, rivers, where you can actually hold Bitcoin on their Shake Pay for the new Bitcoiners. But if you're a serious Bitcoiner, you should not have any Bitcoin on the exchange ever, in my opinion. So with Bitcoin Well, they kind of do that inherently. So let's give away some Bitcoin here. Let's bring this up. We're running out of tosses here. I have to message them today, I guess. So we're going to do two, because good things come in threes. So we're going to do two tosses here today, and I'm going to give away some Bitcoin from Arnie. So here you go. You ready? Set. Go. $462 sats. Some lucky fellow or felly is going to get 462 very scarce pieces of digital real estate today. Has it been claimed? Yes. Okay, congratulations. And maybe you can get the second one too here. Ready? Set. Go. Come on, big one, big one. 661. Couple 600. No, what was the first one? 400. That's a bigger one. 661. So again, if you're in Canada, for sure, you should be using, in my opinion, that's what I use. So I have no issues telling people, to do that. But Bitcoin Well is the best platform probably in the world, but especially in Canada. If you're a Canadian, you get some features that other people don't have, including the free swaps from on-chain to Lightning and vice versa. Free swaps. So if you want to, let's say you had some Bitcoin. Hopefully this has been claimed. So I'm going to talk to Canadians here specifically for 20 seconds. I try not to do that very often, but for 20 seconds, we're going to do it. So basically what you do is that if, let's say that you had some Bitcoin, or you want to buy some Bitcoin. Number one, you want to be like part of, you want to have some spending sats, some sats on Lightning. You could just buy it, and you could buy it and just send it directly to your Lightning wallet. Directly. You don't have to go through any hoops, send it to your on-chain first, swap it. You can just send it directly to your Lightning wallet from, that's what I do with my recurring buy on Bitcoin Well. But the other thing too, is you can go to swap. And let's say that you had some Bitcoin on chain that you want to turn into Lightning. Basically, all you do is you put, you say, I want Lightning. You put in your Lightning address there. So I have my Bitcoin journey at coinos.io in there. And so that's where my Bitcoin is going to go from on-chain to my Lightning wallet there. So basically all you do is you scan that QR code with your on-chain Bitcoin. You put in your Lightning wallet, and then it automatically will transfer it from on-chain to Lightning for 0% fee. Free swap. Usually this is going to cost you, like, depending on how busy the network is, 2,000 sats, 3,000 sats. That's what it costs on Aqua to do. Well, maybe not 3,000, but usually between 1,000, 2,000 sats, depending on the amount. But this is free. So this is part of being a Bitcoin Well user, is you get free swaps. And if you had, you're on Nostr and you had a bunch of Lightning Zaps come in and you want to convert that to your long-term storage, you can do vice versa. So you put in your Bitcoin address as your destination, and then you send Lightning to this QR code, and it swaps. It'll send you a UTXO for that. Nobody else does this. I think it'll hopefully become kind of the norm, but nobody else does that right now. So Bitcoin Well, big shout out to them. Big supporter of the show here. They don't pay me anything, but they pay the community for showing up here and listening to me promote them for a couple minutes. So thank you, Bitcoin Well. Now for the third one, a little bit of a fun one we're going to do here. Oh, Nostra Gang says, listen to Bitcoin podcast 40 hours per week. Cheers. I would also be in that that camp. Definitely would be in that camp. But, it's what we're here for. It's what we signed up for, right? So if I go to, hey, where are we here? We're going to do a little test here. So I'm going to show this, and hopefully I'm going to be able to manage this properly. But, okay. So this is a Nostr post from today. And it says, can you find this missing number? So here's how it's going to work. The first person to correctly answer this on YouTube or on Zaps stream is going to win. What can we do? A row of ducks. We're going to do a row of ducks today. 2,222 sats. I was going to do 88 sats, but after Bitcoin Well, I don't want to be outstaged by Bitcoin Well. So it's going to be a row of ducks. Whoever answers this question first is going to win a row of ducks, 2,222 sats from Arnie's wallet. So you ready? You got to fill in the question mark there. Let me get to the bottom here, the questions. We're going to come back, but I'll get back to all the questions, but we're going to share this. So the first person to figure this out is going to win a row of ducks. So it's going to be on YouTube and Nostr. So I'm watching the chat here. The first person to correctly solve this puzzle is going to win a row of ducks. This is why I like Nostr. There's fun stuff like this on here. This is a great account. It's called Fascinating, and they just share like really cool videos and stuff like this. This is the kind of stuff. Oh, SatStacker. Look at that. SatStacker is the champion today. 16. I think that's the correct answer. That's the one I got anyways. And I'm pretty sure I looked at the comments and that was the correct answer there. So 16, 16, 16, 16. 16 seems to be the not. Somebody also said 10 there. So there was a couple 10s. I think Letha said 10. But I'm pretty sure it's 16. So it looks like 16 and looks like the account who posted it zapped 100 sats. So we're going to go with 16 as the answer. But why is that? So you got 7. This is how I figured it out. 7 times 6 equals 42. 8 times 3 equals 24. 9 times 2 equals 18. 4 times 5 equals 20. So that's kind of like the trend here. And then you look at this number. 42 minus 7 equals 35. 24 minus 8 equals 16. 18 minus 9 equals 9. 20 minus 4 equals 16. So SatStacker is the champion. Congratulations. And it looks like I need to check my messages and notifications here as soon as the show ends today. But SatStacker, let me know what your Lightning address is and I'll send those over right now. So put like your username. So if it's like SatStacker at SpeedApp, just put SatStacker and then put SpeedApp in the next comment, or SatStacker at Wallet of Satoshi and then, or SatStacker and then the Wallet of Satoshi in the next comment there. Okay. Well, that was fun. I think. I don't know. Laughpad says we could rent a Airbnb in Vegas and live stream the event and hang out with high signal living in the future. I thought that said high school. High signal peeps and contribute the cost of event tickets into the B&B food and beverage. Not trying to barge in. I'm just trying to meet y'all in person, but not really wanting to spend $2,000 on just tickets. Yeah, don't worry about it, Laughpad. Like up until last week, I wasn't even going to go to the conference. I still might not, but yeah, I'm going to Vegas just to meet people in real life. That's it. If I can get into the conference, great. If not, I don't really care. That's not why I'm going there. I'm also golfing though. So that's kind of a big part of it as well. But I'm not going there to watch presentations. I'm going there to drink beer and meet people. Okay, so Sat Stacker 5 at speed.app. Okay, I'm going to do that right now. We're going to do live. I don't know how long we're going to go today, by the way. An hour in, maybe do another half hour. I want to catch up on these comments. Hey, look at this. We got a couple of zaps to the address here. Wow. Somebody sent in live very free. I love that number. I would say that's my second favorite number to the row of ducks is good. Like the mighty ducks, the mighty row of ducks, obviously it's double this, so it's preferred, but like I just love that. The 11s behind the 8s, that's my favorite number. And 17, because 1 plus 7 equals 8. I'm big on the numerology stuff, so I'm sure you guys could tell. And somebody also sent in 888. So thank you. I don't know how you got this address here, but somebody did. Bitcoin journey at speed.app. I guess I should probably start putting that on the screen just for people in case they can't scan the QR code. I should start doing that. That's a good idea. Okay, so I got to send it to Sat Stacker 5 at speed.app. By the way, if you guys aren't using Speed yet, you should be. Truly. You should be using Speed app because it's a very easy wallet to use. It's a very don't keep a lot of sats on there, but it's an awesome wallet. 222 and it's $2. So there you go. Sat Stacker. You are the maybe I'll do these on Fridays. Look at that. Just sent. Nobody can compete with that. Nobody can compete with that. And that's just one part of it. That's not even the base layer. That's not even the whole value out of Bitcoin. This is just something built on top of that. Fucking awesome. Nobody understands how cool Bitcoin is, really. Like, everybody's so obsessed with the price and, shit going up. But it's like the technology and the sovereignty and the security around Bitcoin is just like nobody's ever going to touch it. And that's why it's so incredibly important to understand that and make sure that you're protecting it, because this stuff is scarce and we haven't even seen anywhere near the scarcity, how scarce this stuff is. We're going to see it one day and it's going to blow people's minds and heads off probably. So Sat Stacker received the sats right on. And we got another zap here from, it looks like a CYM zap, 2,500 sats. Thank you, Cleaner Machine. And what did I see here? Oh, Andy Man. Andy Man says, I always send it to the Bitcoin journey on the Speed app. Okay, cool. Thank you, Andy Man. So I'm guessing that 11,000 sats was from you. That's a very generous zap, Andy Man. I've been seeing Andy Man in some couple different chats here, and he shows up here, or he or she shows up here. He or she, but that's it. Right? On that note, a couple different things here. So number one, if you're not using the Speed app yet, make sure you download it. I'll put I'll share the link here for you if you want to just go there and download it right now. You can just download it from the App Store, but here's the website, speed.app. And make sure you're using my referral, EPN 3I5, I think. I think that's it. EPN 3I5. So that's number one. Sorry, the next couple minutes here are going to be a little bit slower, but, that's life. Sometimes life's a little bit refer and earn. Okay, EPN. I already shared it. Shit. Idiot. That's not wrong. That's wrong. I deleted that. EPN SI5. So when you sign up for the Speed wallet there, you should be able to, on the very first screen, it's going to ask you for your name, your email address, and then at the bottom of the screen, it's going to say referral code. And that's where you type in EPN SI5. And that's actually going to get you 500 free sats for doing that. EPN SI5. There you go. Yeah, speed's awesome. Then you can, so if you're in Canada, I mean, let's just play this out right now. Let's say you got some Bitcoin, you're in Canada, you've never used Lightning before. This is how easy it's going to be. You sign up for a Bitcoin Well account. Takes 5 minutes. You use the swap feature. You sign up for your Lightning wallet, your Speed app. So you now have a customized Lightning address. You put that into your Bitcoin Well account. You send some Bitcoin to Bitcoin Well. It swaps and it shows up in your Lightning wallet. And then you can spend some. You can buy things online with Lightning. You can zap people on Nostr. You can send it on the show here. Easy way to do it. If you're looking for a way to support the show and other shows, then so simple. And you won't pay any fees doing that way either. There's other ways to do it, of course, but that's the easiest way. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to create a new banner here for, I should have done this like years ago, but Bitcoin Journey at speed.app. Andy Man's going to be mad now because maybe there'll be other people zapping here and I won't know that it's him for sure. But always leave, if you have the ability to, always leave like a little comment, saying who it's from so I can give you some props on the show. But there's that. And then finally, speaking of guys and girls, but that's it. Let's watch our last clip from today, or for today. And then we're going to get to the comments. So here it is. This is the man, the myth, the man making some very serious changes and improvements to this world. And he's not getting a whole lot of credit for doing it, especially from Bitcoiners. But anyways, I love this. So let's watch this clip. It's only 20 seconds long. And to the University of Alabama.
Through with that stuff, but it's pretty descriptive, isn't it, really? It helps when you know that borders are not racist, speech is not violence, America is good, terrorists are bad, men can never become women, police are not criminals, and criminals are not victims. Eighth, everybody should believe. So asking me.
Okay, so I want you to, I mean, obviously I love the message there because, this has been brainwashed and programmed in people's minds, the opposite of this for the last couple decades, last couple years, especially ramped up. But pay attention to, oh, you can't even see my thing here, but pay attention to the girl on the far right side there. You can see her kind of nodding. And then also after he says it, it kind of takes a couple seconds, and you can tell that these kids of the University of Alabama, or not kids, but young adults from the University of Alabama, you can tell how brainwashed and programmed they've become and how scared they are to actually share their beliefs. Even they know how crazy things are, they're still been programmed to not disagree with that, not go against the grain here, like Trump's been doing himself. So watch that girl kind of nodding along, and then it takes a couple seconds, and then they're like, okay, he's right. They're kind of waiting for somebody to start the applause because they know what he's saying is right and accurate, but they're scared to clap because they've been programmed to believe that that's bad. You can tell, especially at a university like this. But shout out to University for Alabama for, getting Trump there. That's a pretty big deal. But yeah, watch this girl's face on the right side. She's kind of nodding. And then it takes a couple seconds, but they're like, okay, we can do this. We agree with what he's saying. We don't have to worry about, any backlash anymore. We can applaud this because it is accurate. It is truth. And people like truth, and truth always finds a way to come out.
To go through with that stuff, but it's pretty descriptive, isn't it, really? It helps when you know that borders are not racist, speech is not violence, America is good, terrorists are bad, men can never become women, police are not criminals, and criminals are not victims. Eighth, everybody should believe. Asking me.
That's the kind of shit we want to see. That's the kind of shit we want to see. And I'm sure the bots will show up here any moment now. But maybe I didn't even mention his name there, so we might be okay. Lapad. Not gonna lie, my brain saw that grid of numbers and thought, "Where's my coffee?" Yeah, if you weren't ready for that, it was probably a bit of a shock to the system having to think on a Friday morning. But it also looks like, did I guess to this already? Yes, I did. Looks like Lapad also sent in our DCA today. So let's do that. Let's check on the price of Bitcoin today. We don't look at the price in fiat anymore. We just look at how worthless fiat is becoming. So let me bring this up here. And if you're new to the show, instead of looking at the price of one Bitcoin, we look at the price of one coffee in terms of sats. So Lapad sent in what is it today? May 2nd. Whoa. Let's just go like this instead of looking like a fool. So Lapad sent in our daily coffee average. And today it is 3,080. Damn. We're losing here. My time's becoming less and less valuable based on the $3 coffee. So you can see here, less than a month ago, that $3 coffee that Lapad, Cleaning Machine, Duncan, there's been a couple people, Ken, sending in the DCA, and it started at 38.31. So that $3 coffee, the equivalent of that in sats, I got 3,831 sats less than a month ago. And that same $3 coffee today, the equivalent of that in sats is only 3,080 sats. So in less than a month, it's almost gone down 25% of my time. That's what it is. It's a tip. It's somebody buying me a coffee. So my time in a real currency has gone down from 3,800 to 3,000 in less than a month. And if you believe like I do, that one day these sats are going to equal $1, that's a big spread. So based on yesterday of 3,114 to today 3,080, we can know for a fact that the price of Bitcoin is higher today than it was yesterday, which means that whatever value you're adding to the world, you're actually getting less real currency today than you were yesterday. Oh, look at that, Bitcoin, 97,000. Look at that big spike at the end there. So thank you, Lapad, and thank you to everybody who has been contributing on the DCA. Oh, my Zaps stream balance is low. Damn. Okay, let me deal with that in a second here. I can't forget about that. So thank you, Lapad. I'm going to share this link here for everybody in case you want to zap me a coffee. You don't need Nostr to do it. You just need a Lightning wallet and some sats in there. So, okay, let's move on here. We couldn't go a full day without shutting down. That wouldn't be right. Can you hear me? Can you see me? My God, this is getting frustrating. I mean, at least it's not really cutting out in important parts, but I don't know. I don't even know if people can hear me right now. Where are we? Camera. Nice. What a fucking shit show. Okay. I think we're back. Fuck, that's annoying. I don't know what causes that, honestly. I wish I knew how to fix that because that is incredibly frustrating. But anyways, Letha said, I tried to pay the balance. Did it work? Let me check, Letha. Let me check. And this computer is just like, I might need a new computer. That might be our new goal for Zap streams. Get Jor a functioning laptop. Okay, bear with me here. I know it's incredibly painful to watch people on a live stream when they're not doing or saying anything, but I got to handle this right now. So bear with me for like 30 seconds here. Letha, yes, it did work. It did work. Thank you very much. Letha zapped 500 sats to boost the stream here. I should also give it a little bit more of a boost so we don't need to worry about this for a while. It's funny. I was like, because I have to do these every few shows. I have to top up my balance on Zapstream just to keep streaming. And one day I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this often, so I'm going to put I think it was either 21,000 or 10,000 sats in it. And then that was the week where Zapstream shut down and all the sats went missing. Just my luck. And I never got like reimbursed for those or anything, but whatever. I don't know where they ended up. I don't think that Kieran just took them, so I'm not worried about it, but it was just shitty timing there. Laughpad says this spreadsheet makes me really happy. I mean, it does, but it also at the same time, it's like whatever value that you're adding to the world at your job, whatever it is, your time and energy and your value is going to keep going down in Bitcoin terms, which is kind of shitty. So yes, it's nice that our net worth is up, that we're able to buy more things with our Bitcoin. But like the money that we receive for what we do is going to keep going down in real terms. We just saw that. It went from 3,800 sats to 3,000, and that's $3 worth. Never mind like 300 or 3,000 in the spread there. Like you have to take that seriously and like understand where we are and how hard it's going to be to get sats in the future. Okay, let's get to some questions here. YouTube, I want to give you a shout out because you've been very patient today. But, Fat Zap Friday, the chat's been buzzing. And we had to look after the Zap stream today. And the people showed up too. There was more people in Zap stream for a while than there was on YouTube. So anyways, let's get to some comments here. Jay, missed ya. Good morning. Rick Costa, happy Fat Zap Friday. Smash the like yet. It's a good question. If you haven't zapped, if you've been watching the show, I'd say the absolute least you could do is press the like button. Help spread this message. Help get more Bitcoiners in here. We're going to bust through this, whatever wall we got going on here with the show. We're going to get to, we're going to get more people in here. But you can help very easily by pressing like, by leaving a comment, and pressing your notifications. If you like the videos I post, you want to show up here every day, you can sign up for the notifications there, which helps the channel. Okay, what do we got here? 35 likes. Oh, Rick, I should have showed that earlier. There's been probably 200 people in and out of here today, and there's 36 people who like the show. Good thing that likes are illusionary, but the zaps are what really matter. So if you don't mind, press the like. Thank you, Rick. Actually, he is earlier than all of us. Bitcoin wizards are always right on time. Oh, you guys are funny. Tommy D, good morning. MicroStrategy Masterclass fried my brain last night. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Kieran. Is that the real Kieran? Is that the real Kieran from Zapstream? I said his name and he must have appeared. He must have some AI on where somebody says his name and he shows up. Kale Ty, I'm here for the beers and the nudes. Did nudes of me get leaked or something? Could you imagine? Good thing they don't exist. So it wouldn't be, you'd have a pretty hard time. It'd be AI. If you ever saw a nude of me, it would be an AI because nudes of me do not exist. Thankfully, I kind of grew up in that era where nudes were, before people knew how viral things could be. I could have got into some trouble there, but thankfully I didn't. Holy, what just happened here? We got another row of mighty ducks. Wow. This has definitely been Fat Zap Friday today. My goodness. 2 days in a row. 2 Fat Zap days in a row. But some anonymous person, some anonymous angel out there just sent in a mighty row of ducks. 22,222 sats. You guys are fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. And here's what I want to say. If you are, if you've been watching the show, if you've been enjoying it, this show, this channel is 100% funded by the community from angels like that. But if you've been watching the show, if you've been enjoying it and you want to send some sats in today, just hold off. Show up to our Maple Bitcoin today and zap the boys, zap the Maple Bitcoin Fund. That's going to become something pretty powerful. So if you're thinking about sending a zap in, just hold off until this afternoon and send it in to the Maple crew later. Even though I'll only get a third of that, that's some pretty special things being built on Maple Bitcoin. So yes, it is today. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And if you're not a subscriber to Maple Bitcoin yet, make sure you head over there and click the notifications on to watch our videos and our lives every Friday. They are awesome. Randy said, missed last night's 7:30 p.m. call. Uh-oh. Didn't know about the golf league. How'd you do? Oh, Randy, sorry, man. I saw that you booked something, but I just kind of assumed that it was for next Thursday. I didn't know that you could even book that, that immediate term. Sorry, Randy. I saw the notification for it and I just assumed that it was for next Thursday. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to email Randy tomorrow and tell him that men's league, I won't be able to make it. So sorry, I apologize for that. Yesterday was a very crazy day for me. But Debt Free reacts. So do you plan on selling a portion of the Zaps that you're getting on here to pay taxes to the IRS? That seems like a Fed. Will I be reporting Zaps? I don't know. Maybe if I'm reporting the Zaps as income, then I'll also be able to claim my Zaps outwards as expenses. So all I can say to anybody trying to trace the Zaps, the 3 cents being thrown around the internet, is good fucking luck. Just watch. Jerry's on the Robin Sayer pod. Nice. That's awesome. I'll definitely have to check that out. Brennan says, Joe, have you ever used a Bitcoin ATM? Do you think it's valuable? Yes, I have. And there's actually Bitcoin Well ATMs around Canada where you can actually buy non-KYC Bitcoin. So I'm probably going to be doing a little, I actually tried doing it for the Living in the Future, doing a little documentation of that, but it didn't work on the day that I went. So I'll do that this summer. I'm going to make a little video of how to buy Bitcoin from the Bitcoin Well ATM without anybody knowing that you bought it. But yes, I do think they're valuable. I want to get one myself, actually. I want to set up a Bitcoin ATM in my town here. Heard, thank you. I need to breathe and touch grass. Tom, do you think 1 Bitcoin in cold storage is enough to retire in 5 years modestly living? Yep, I do actually. A lot of people will disagree with that, but I think that you definitely could do that. Vandingo, great name. Bitcoin is the only religion that lets you keep the donation plate. Yes, that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Should write that down. I like that. Bitcoin is the only religion that lets you keep the donation plate. That's powerful. Yeah, it's not going to pedophiles, and it's not going to build a huge building that you don't really need. I never talk about religion on here, and I never plan to, but I just think it's insane that how much money churches have robbed from people, from telling them that if you need to, if you want to go to heaven, you got to pay us. Tommy D, living the future crew, playing some games for sats while they should be selling houses for Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. If you're not happy with your house or you think you're going to move somewhere else, absolutely sell your house and buy Bitcoin. Oh, look at that. Lapad Zap Letha over on the Zap stream. That's one thing you can do on Zap stream that you can't do on YouTube, one of many. But you can zap your friends over there. So it looks like Lapad Zapped Letha. Daniel says, good to see you, Kieran. Do you know why the feeds don't show up in Fountain anymore? I loved watching it when it was working. Good question. Good question. Bitcoin Maximus. Look at this. Top of the morning from Tennessee. Bitcoin Maximus. You might have a friend there in Tennessee soon. I'm planning on spending a couple months in Tennessee sometime soon. Feels good to lift up the man who lifts us up. Well, thank you. Thank you, Tom. That I appreciate that. Okay. Thanks for coming into work today, of course. Establish a family bank. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to dive a little bit deeper into this on another show. But yeah, I mean, definitely. Founded Beyond. Look at that. Bitcoin Journeyman. Good morning, Bitcoiners. Buck52 says, what if your family steals from you and takes the family business in the cover night? Cover of night? I mean, yeah, I mean, that's something that you kind of got to sort out yourself. If you don't trust your family, then you're probably not going to be building a dynasty with them. But yeah, kind of what the guy said too is if you don't get along with your family, you don't trust your family, then that's a you problem. But write down your family constitution. That's a great idea too. Tommy D. Lots of good notes here from the chat today. Write down your family constitution. I love that. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying in a different way. But yeah, you have to instill this stuff into your family early on in terms of helping them understand Bitcoin, helping them understand how to recover that if something were to happen to you. And yeah, that's part of it, I think. 888 sats. Fat Zap. Arnie says, F the IRS, live free or die. What do you think of that, Arnie? Yeah, do you think Arnie's going to be reporting his Zaps? I don't think so. That's a good idea. And I'm going to write down establish a family bank too. I think that's so important, a family bank. And it's funny because I had, I've been kind of managing my family's, we'll call it crypto for the last 5 years here. And it's funny because that was kind of like right when I got started, I had the idea of, I had an email account that I used for like these different signups for what we were working on. And I called it my last name with bank after it because I knew at that point, even this is before I had any sort of knowledge of like what Bitcoin would become and what it would be today. But I was like, this stuff's going to become so valuable, even though it seems like a small amount now. This is going to be so incredibly powerful in the future. And that was the email that I created, was my last name with bank after it at proton.me. That's what I used to sign up for everything. That's kind of crazy. Andy Man, good message today, Jor. Thank you. What public key do I have to enter to join up on Nostr? The public key that would be on your profile, Tom. So if you went to, so that's a cool thing that we're doing within Living the Future right now. Actually, maybe I'll show this quickly. This might be a longer show today, but whatever. It's Friday. So if I go like this, Primal, And let's go to, where's my thing here? Where's Jor? Pretty much the only thing I use, oh, I'm not even on the list here. Nice. The only thing that I use Primal for nowadays is finding people. I don't really like Primal that much. I'm not going to lie. But anyways, you go to your account. And then you go to, on Primal, you find your thing. And then you go to your public key. And then that's your NPub right there. So that's what you need to share with me if you want to be put into that Living in the Future pack, wolf pack. So you just copy that public key. What's that called now? Following.spaces. Following.space. This is really cool. Like these are the kind of things that are being built on Nost right now. It takes a little bit. There we go. Packs I'm in. Oh, nice. I'm not even in any more packs. Cool. So the cool thing about this now, this is going to really help with discovery on Noster. So you can kind of look for, oh, Boobster. Wow. Who's in Boobster? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm in this one, Noster streamers. So you can find people who, I don't know who added me to this, Johnny. But you can see this is a really good way to find people. It kind of organizes them based on packs. So packs I'm in here. I'm in Noster streamers. I'm in our Living in the Future one here and Golfster. And you can see here, you can look at the posts. So you can filter the posts from people who are in that pack. So everybody in the Living in the Future here now, you can just filter through the, hey, there's my mug. But you can just filter and only see posts from, like we got Maria, we got Bodhi, we got the Hick. What does this say? When you have to jump the schoolyard fence at morning drop off to retrieve your son's stray football, and you realize you brought some underbrush to work. There's some nice sneaks there, the Hick. So there you go. Kind of cool. That's something that's brand new to Noster is what's it called? Following.space. Hey, there's Joe right there. The Bitcoin bro. Hello, young fella. Joe, I gave you, I don't know if you're still here or not. This was over an hour ago now. Usama. Saudis pump billions of USD worth of black gold from the earth. Not sure what that means or what that was about. Okay, I got to start skipping a few of these. Sorry. Look at this. Mark, Living in the Future member for almost a year. Amazing value. I'm currently involved in the proof of work group, which is a game changer. By the way, Jor, can you please post link to the questionnaire in Signal? Yes, I will do that. The questionnaire for proof of work. Yeah, proof of work. We're actually setting up some accountability groups for people. So you have until, I would say, Sunday if you want to join the Living in the Future and if you want to be part of our proof of work course that we're doing and you want to be part of one of the accountability groups, you have until Sunday. So you got 7 episodes. They're all about an hour, hour and a half long. You could buzz through them pretty quick, get up to speed. And it's basically for people who want to, transform their lives pretty much from wherever they are today to wherever they want to go. So the first couple episodes, we're kind of talking about, figuring out who we are, figuring out what we want to do. And the last couple, we've been a little bit more actionable. So that's, I just threw the link there in the chat if anybody wants to join Living the Future, like Mark, who's been a member for almost a year and says amazing value. So don't trust me. Trust the people who are going through it. Maple Bitcoin is the money team. I like that. Sabian says, I have a better solution, which is an encrypted backup that's private. Hit me up. I'm not sure what that means. Better solution to what? Better solution than our encrypted backup? with inheritance. Ours is completely private too. It's all non-KYC. We don't hold a key to your Bitcoin. We don't know how much Bitcoin you have. We don't even need to know what your name is. That's the solution. So unless I'm missing something here, plus it has the inheritance, very detailed documentation for your family to recover your Bitcoin. So it might be another solution, but it's definitely not a better solution, Sabian. Good morning, Jor family. Hello from Savannah. Bitcoin is 97K. That's right. Santino, one of our Bitcoin journeymen. Look at this. We got you're welcome for the Zaps from the Bitcoin nurse. Oh, there you go. I knew that would pop up somewhere. Thank you. 8,888 sats. I did say that, didn't I? I said somebody's going to claim that. So thank you. Very, very generous of you there. Yes to Arnie, bro. Awesome. John says, love your show, sir. I stack sats every Friday, $250. Is this enough at these prices? I've been stacking since November, and I feel like I'm still not quite 10% of a coin. Feels like nothing. Well, number one, there's no enough, right? Like there's no price that's enough right now. It's like whatever you can trade for Bitcoin, do that. Whatever money you take home after you pay your expenses, your living costs, your taxes, you put that into Bitcoin. Anything that you have in your house, that's why I said go through your personal balance sheet. Anything that you can convert into Bitcoin, that's going to really bump up that 10% pretty fast. If you can start selling some of your other assets, like stocks, that whole illusion, that's going to bump up that pretty quick. But 10% of a coin is going to be beyond legendary. So don't ever look at like 10% of a coin. That's 10 million sats. Most people will never get 1 million sats. Most people won't get 100,000 sats. Truly. Just do the objective math on it. But that doesn't mean you should stop. Like we're forever going to be trading our time and energy for real currency, which is Bitcoin. Anytime you have fake dollars and they still let you exchange those for real dollars, you do that. There's no end game here. Ascension, hello everyone. Good morning. Bitcoin bro. So Joe says the book will be a Kindle exclusive. Then it will be a physical copy in a couple months. Yes. Love that. All money earned, 25% going to my boy Arnie. And thank you for the shout out, Jor. Love that. So keep an eye out for that. I'll be talking about that obviously as it comes out, but maybe Joe and I will send out some copies for some contests or something. But from what I understand, it's going to be $8.88 as a tribute to the 88 Sats channel. So big shout out to Joe for that. I got a haircut yesterday and it's kind of short. It's kind of short. There we go. We're back. Strike in the US for the best spread fee. Fair. I like parts of Strike. I like parts of River. I like parts of Bitcoin Well. They all kind of have unique features. So Strike would be on my list for sure of ones to use. Okay, what else do we have here? M. Vincent, do you or anyone know what happened to Crypto Jeb? Haven't seen anything new in a while. No, never heard of anybody by the name of Crypto Jeb. Oh, look at this. We do have Kieran over in the chat. All right. What do we have here? Where do the live streams show in Fountain? From Kieran. Letha says they were shown at the top of the Fountain app for me, Kieran. It was the row of shows that were currently being streamed on Zapstream. On which tab? They're on the homepage. Yeah, I don't say anything either. Not sure. Maybe ask the Fountain team. Yeah, I don't think that was Kieran that was doing anything with that. I think that was Fountain who implemented that. Letha says, I have to run. See you guys on the Maple Bitcoin show. Okay, thank you, Letha. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all of your continued support. I don't know if you're still here or not, but thank you. Oh, look at that. Wow. Root says, I sent it to ChatGPT as an image, and it figured it out. Wow. That is scary. Wow. Root, did it get 16? I don't know if you're still here or not, but did it get 16? If you're using Nostr, Zeus wallet is great too, along with the speed wallet. I got to get into Zeus. That's next on my my personal checklist here. I got to start using Zeus a little bit more. I want to try it. I heard Odell talking about it. He had, I think, the guy from Zeus on there, and I really enjoyed that interview. Joe says, that's how fast Bitcoin works. It sends in seconds. I have no idea how people are still blind to this. No doubt. They have no idea how cool Bitcoin is. Literally had it in 2 seconds. Bitcoin well, speed app better together, 100%. Okay, and it's he, by the way. Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind, Andy. I said it's he or she, but that's it. Okay, we got a lot of stuff. I'm doing my best here. If you use Speed Wallet and scan your Arnie wallet, it sends Zaps to you as an anonymous FYI, even if you put it in a comment. Oh, okay. That's kind of crappy. But I mean, that's what the comments are for here, right? So in this case, you sent a Zap there or to Arnie's wallet, and just leave it in the comments. Said just put the Zap that you sent so I can give you a shout out for it. Andy, man, I leave a message. Do you? I don't think I've ever seen a message in there, Andy. Let me double check that so I'm not lying to you. No message with it. So I haven't been ignoring you there. Definitely, it doesn't show me anything other than the time, the amount, and the fees. Speed fee 0. Love that. How do you compete with 0? And somebody also sent 789 sats. Love that to the Speed wallet. So thank you. Thank you. We're talking about spam issue with Bitcoin Core. We're actually going to be talking about that today with Maple Bitcoin. And I should go actually, because I got to get up to snuff with that. I've been checking things out, but I need to do a little bit more work. What about Bitcoin Magazine shilling for shitcoins? Whatever. Let them do them. Everybody's going to regret buying shitcoins. Jerry loves freedom. I wake up and see Trump and Joe on my screen. Oh, I shouldn't have said that word. Now the bots are going to show up. What a start to my day. Okay. And then I went blank for a while. So we got some comments for that. People blaming China. Elliot says, the fact that we're still below 100K is a joke. No, it's not a joke. It's a blessing. We don't need Wall Street. The game is over. The price will massively adjust before end of year. We need to react fast, but take nothing for granted. Completely agree with that. The only thing I disagree with there is that it's not a joke. I mean, it's a joke and a blessing, but it's not something to be mad about. It's something that you should thank. You should look up to the sky. You should hit your knees and you should say, thank you. Thank you for putting me here at this time. And thank you for allowing me to trade my fake illusionary dollars for Bitcoin, for a lot of Bitcoin still. Going down in real terms and going down in inflation terms. Employees very rarely giving raises to even match inflation. Yeah, true. Ken, look at this. That's a new face, I think. Ken Reader, good show. Thank you, Ken. Jay says, got my first paycheck from my new fiat job immediately into Biddy. Love that. Opportune sparks debate. Some see it as a tool for embedding data. Others think it clutters the blockchain. What's your take on its role in Bitcoin's future? I'm definitely more on the side of it shouldn't be there. I don't think that anything. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't really know how I stand on, to be honest with you. I think that Bitcoin should be used for money, but I also think that if dummies want to spend money and put things on the blockchain, then that only helps the network. But you should still be able to choose, and that's the nice thing about it is like if you don't agree with what Bitcoin Core is doing or not doing, for that matter, then do something else. Use something else. Use Bitcoin knots. That's the beauty of it. You don't really need to get too worried about it, in my opinion, anyway. So Bitcoin versus fiat is like bees trying to convince flies that their food is shit. Exactly. Joe's still here. Ricky Bobby's in the chat. Oh, we made it through all the comments. Wow, good for us. Okay. Artisan Tube says, are mobile crypto wallets like best wallet safe? Thinking about starting there. No KYC either. I wouldn't be using that. If it's called a crypto wallet, hold on, let me look for it. Let me do a little bit of on the fly research here. The best wallet. I mean, you could, but to me, it's like, why wouldn't you just use something like Aqua? Like Aqua's, in my opinion, the best mobile, the best hot wallet that exists. On desktop, the best wallet is Sparrow. On mobile, the best wallet is Aqua. It's not the best wallet. Best wallet is not best wallet. Yeah, if it says crypto in it, then you want to run from that one. I can't even find it here. It says best Bitcoin and crypto wallet contains ads. No, you don't want that. That looks scary to me. Is that the one we're talking about here? Best Bitcoin and crypto wallet. Anytime crypto is involved with where you're keeping your Bitcoin, you should get it off of there as soon as possible. If your wallet, whether it's a mobile wallet, a desktop wallet, a cold hardware device, if it has crypto in it, if it allows you to store cryptos on it, get your Bitcoin off of there ASAP. ASAP. Noster Noob says, does Howard Lutnick remind anyone of a used car salesman? Yeah. I like him, though. I do. Plunger said, I would pay double for the book, Joe. Donate the sats to the Arnie Fund. I would pay triple to have a signed physical copy. You hear that, Joe? Plunger said, I would pay double for that book, Joe. Donate the sats to the Arnie Fund. I would pay triple to have a signed physical copy. Nostra Noob also says it's all noise, ignore the noise. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Like, I hate kind of feeding into it, but it is kind of important to understand not what side you're on, but like why this stuff is important and why we still have the ability to really fuck this up, essentially. If we're not careful with holding our Bitcoin, with running nodes, with BitX, and decentralizing the network in terms of mining, like this thing could slip through our fingers here if we're not careful. So I think that it is a distraction, but I also think it's important to note that things like this are going to come up in the future. There's going to be 2 sides or 3 sides, and there's going to be, wars of trying to figure out the best direction here. I was thinking about this the other night, and I wanted to do a longer video, but I kind of want to just introduce the idea here. But I was thinking, like, in the future, in the distant future, do you think it's possible that instead of people going to like the polls to vote for like one politician, do you think that the new voting actually becomes which becomes the longest chain? I mean, it's already kind of happening right now, but it's like a very, 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 very small group of people doing it right now. But like, if that's what decides like the monetary policy of like the world, then wouldn't that be much more important as like that might replace like the federal election, which is like voting on the longest chain with your node essentially? And then you still have like at your local level, like in your town or municipality, you still have like a person there maybe. But I think that that's possible. I think that far enough out, we actually are voting for the chain instead of people. I don't know. Nostra Noob says both sides have a point. I agree with that. Both sides do, obviously, but I kind of lean towards one side more than the other, but that's just me. So that's why I run a node, so I can vote. Aqua is no KYC. Yes, correct. I love Aqua. Okay, this guy's, will you decide to sell? Sorry, debt-free Rax. I don't trust you right now. You're banned. Whenever there's duplicate comments like that, that's sketchy. Bye-bye. Joe says, Plunger, we can do that. For Arnie, signed and shipped. Nice. Love that. Bit Billy. All I do is stack. I find every way I can just to keep buying. Animalistically. It's a word. I like that word. And usually I struggle with some bigger words like that to say them, but animalistically. I like that. I like that a lot. By the way, before we go here, I want to say a big thanks to everybody. I'm going to wrap things up here because I got some preparation to do. I got to film a video for 365 still. I got shit to do. And then we got our Maple Bitcoin. So everybody, I can't say thank you enough for the support here. This channel, as most people know who watch it, is 100% funded by the community. We get a little bit here and there from Google AdSense, but that's it. We have no sponsors. We have no ads. We have nobody influencing or controlling my voice and my message, which is the most important thing for me. And none of this would be possible without people like BitBilly and Joe and Letha and Duncan and Bodie and everybody, Plunger, everybody who shows up here, Ian. And I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'm not going to start naming names, but you know who you are. You know who you are. Lapad, the DCA there. Like this is the stuff that really makes the show what it is. So I just want to say thank you more than anything else. You guys just are fucking awesome. Truly. And you keep me coming back here. You keep me wanting to keep pushing forward here. And it means the world to me, truly. So on that note, I hope everybody has a great Friday. I hope everybody shows up for Maple Bitcoin today. And again, like I said, Lapad says, yeah, I agree about the voting for the longest chain, except if it's not in the distant future. Except it's not in the distant future. It's every 10 minutes. Yeah, I get you're right. It's kind of already started. It's just, yeah, it's super interesting to think about these things. The world's going to look so much different in a decade from now. Like literally unrecognizable. And it might not even take a decade, but just know that if you are holding Bitcoin, you're going to be the winner of that. And go back and watch this episode if you have to. We talked about a lot of different things, including like doing things for your family, creating a dynasty with Bitcoin, and share this message with people because it is important. Anybody you care about anyways. If you don't, then fuck them. Bird Meta joined right at the end here. Sorry, my friend. But Jets, future voting, I think the entire system changes in some sort of Caesar, benevolent dictator comes around, possibly AI. Interesting. As society further divides itself, rise of populist are the precursor. Yeah, it's tough to know. How do we connect? BitBilly, I will connect you with Joe if you'd like to, for sure. I got both your guys' contact info. So one of you or both of you reach out to me and say, put me in touch with the other guy. Looks like you're talking about mining and stuff. So BitBilly's a big time miner. Thank you, BitBilly. And thank you for all that you do for this channel. Book launch is super important for the success of the book. Let's all leave reviews once the book is live. I'd recommend going heavy on ads for the first couple months. Love it. We're working together here. We're going to do it. We're going to do it for sure. Okay. Yeah, agreed. Don't ask for tax advice. I'm never going to give you tax advice. Benevolent. Oh, that's what it is. Benevolent. I've heard that word before. Benevolent dictator. One seen to be acting in best interest of the people despite holding absolute power. So would that be like dude from El Salvador, Bukele? I don't know. Okay. Anyways, have yourselves an amazing Friday today. Thank you once again. Ian, have a safe flight home, my friend. I hope you enjoyed your holidays. Definitely deserved by the sounds of it. And yes, thank you everybody once again for being here. Thanks for showing up. And make sure you join us today at, I put in the chat there, Maple Bitcoin, 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to have one heck of a discussion today. So thanks everybody. Have an amazing Friday today. And we will see you all at 2 p.m. Eastern time today on the Maple Bitcoin channel. Bye-bye.